United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'd like to welcome you all to the June 15th Planning Commission meeting. The first item on the agenda would be approval of the minutes from the May 18th meeting. I don't know if anyone had a chance to review these before, but we'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, Andy, call roll, please.
Motion on the floor, approve the May 18th minutes. Nikki?
Yes.
Marv?
Yes.
Tyson?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Bryan?
Yep.
Motion carried, minutes approved.
All right, second item on the agenda is the site development plan review for the Isaac Property Company on West Fountain Grove Drive. Andy, you want to fill us in?
It's kind of hard to read here up on the screen, but here we have the proposed site, very similar to what we saw last month at the use variance meeting. As you can see up top here, they're proposing their retention. Do have a dumpster here that is screened in. They're having their sanitary come up the east side along with the gas and underground electric. Looks like we got a transformer in the rear of the building. Storm is going to be serviced over here on the west side of the building to wrap back around to the pond. And are you proposing 2 water services here?
2 water services, yes.
Okay.
One for fire lead and one for domestic.
Okay, yeah, one's going off Portland Extended, and then the other's coming off of County Road C, it looks like. You can see they do have some landscaping. We'll approve that with the final review and have court take a look at it, make sure everything's okay. This is going to be asphalt parking lot, Jerry?
Yes, correct.
Curbed?
Right now it's planned to be curved, yes.
Okay.
Around the landscape areas, yes.
The interior will be curbed?
Yes,
The outside will not?
will not be,
Okay. Anybody else got anything to add on this one?
I've got a question.
Hi.
Is that a right of way for?
If we could, Dave, if we could have you step up front here to the microphone. They're recording these, so we want to make sure everybody can hear you. So we just ask you to step up front. Thank you.
I didn't think I was official. Is that a right of way on the left between Autumn Chase and this property?
When Autumn Chase original plat was approved, the city of Bryan required that they took 40 foot of right-of-way on their side. And what our intention is to save enough right-of-way on this side as well. They're not dedicating the right-of-way as of yet, but they're reserving the right-of-way for that. If they dedicate the right-of-way, then the street needs to be put in, and we're not ready to do that yet. We're not putting a street in yet there at all.
Yeah.
But they are working with the overall general plan of what the city has, that they will, and they have intentions when it is developed, to extend the Portland Street right-of-way at least through there. They're leaving the space for it, but not dedicating it at this point in time.
Okay, then who pays for the road through there? I guess the city does in that
There's
instance.
no road plan through there at this time because they're not dedicating the right-of-way.
So no future road could ever be run through there?
When they dedicate the right-of-way, there can be. At this time, there is no street planned, but they're reserving the right for a future street. There's no reason to build a street to go nowhere.
So is this down against County Road C?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah, be right next to the Alliance Church.
So in the future, no road could ever go through there?
Did not say that. I said we're saving
It's
60
not going
feet.
through there now.
Right. They're
It's not
reserving,
part of this project.
they're reserving 60 feet on that drawing to potentially dedicate right-of-way in the future for a street.
Okay.
They're not blocking it off so Portland Street can never be extended. The first time when they ran the survey through, it was shifted over to the west, and we had them move it to the east, so the potential was there for right-of-way at a future date.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions or comments? Chief Siders, did you have anything you wanted to add?
I'll wait until we do the other one as well.
Okay.
This is just site.
Yeah, this here is the site development plan review, and what we do is we review this plan and make sure that it conforms to what we want to see and with the planning regulations. Now, Andy and I and the people from Utilities Office have already somewhat reviewed the site and asked for a couple minor changes. So we feel it's fairly close to what we need, but as always, the city engineer's office has the final site plan approval through our office, which, like Andy said, we'll turn the site plan over to the city arborist, and it'll make sure the landscaping conforms to what we need. This is more or less just a general completeness review that the planning commission concurs that the project can go ahead. And then between the city engineer's office and the utilities office and the other department heads, we'll work through all the fine details of the grades and actual utility locations on the site. This is more of just a general completeness review. Now, utilities, yeah, Al, do you have something you want to add?
Yeah, I just would like to mention we'd require an easement through for the electric to the transformer.
That you require an easement?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I believe that was shown on here, you just couldn't read it.
Was the easement on there? Okay.
10-foot
I
easement.
got 10-foot easement.
We'd like it to encompass the perpendicular line also to the transformer and the transformer too. Just so we have the right maintenance it, service it, and right place to repair it.
Yeah, I had met early on with the department, and they had mentioned that as well, so.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get that. In fact, that's why we moved it, it was up by the dumpster.
Oh.
And we moved it closer to the building.
Okay.
10-foot sufficient now?
Yeah, 10 foot's fine.
Any other questions or comments from anyone out on the floor? Or any from the members of the planning commission? Yes, sir.
Just one question. If we have snow, a large amount, it will all be stored on the property, won't it? It won't be pushed out into or on County Road C, will it?
No, they can't push it out on the
That's
street.
what I was,
Right,
you see that once in a while.
right. Yeah, they should not do that. I'm sure it'll all be pushed off to the sides and around back. They can't push it out in the street. We'll have a visit from our police department if they do that. So that situation will be resolved. Nikki, do you have anything you want to add?
I'm good.
Tyson?
Nope.
Mayor, you have anything?
No.
Any further questions from anyone out in the audience?
I got one.
Yes, sir. You want to step up front, please?
Sure. I live right across this project.
Yes, you do.
My name's Dan Pritchard. And when you build this building, is there an emergency type system that's going to be put into this? I mean, I'm saying if there was a fire.
There's a fire suppression system
It goes
inside.
through 911.
Well, I'm sure
Oh,
I'm sure the state will require a fire alarm with inside there.
Okay.
and
I
that's-
heard one go off over here at the senior center about 6, 8 months ago. And the fire truck arrived out there. I just wondered what will happen out there.
I'm assuming the state of Ohio would require that in the state building plans, since there is a fire suppression system. They'll have a monitoring system as well.
One other question I've got is drainage out there. We have days like this, it's just on and on and on of rain. There is flooding out there in this spot. We're going to build this make this parking lot and make this building in that. What kind of drainage system you going to put in? Because what
Well,
happens if it runs down the road now? We've
They
had
have to
problems
do,
out there.
on the extreme north side of the property, there's I don't want to say pond.
Okay.
There's a low area that the water will go into, and what it does is, it's called stormwater retention.
Right.
We make the engineers, whatever water would run off the field as if it currently exists as farm field, that's all they're allowed to discharge. Because, more water runs off asphalt than what does dirt, a
Okay.
certain amount will soak in. So they're supposed to build a storage area in the back or somewhere on the site, so the water will go away slowly and
The
not flow
level
the
of this
storms.
field is much lower than what the road level is.
Right.
And when that floods, that goes right down the road. man.
sure they're anticipating that.
It's bad at times. Now, right now, we're not getting it, but
Right.
we've got 3-4 days in here, because we get maybe 4 inches of rain. And that's gonna flood.
I'm sure the engineers and architects will take that into consideration.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yep, absolutely. Mr. Brown?
Sorry about this, but there's no sidewalks. There's no place to put a sidewalk.
Correct.
I've got to put sidewalks in my subdivision. There's sidewalks all over town. Why isn't there room for a sidewalk where people can walk in the future? I know there's no place for the sidewalk to go, but if it's not planned for, there never will be.
Well, that was a comment that we had actually addressed internally in our office that we're going to address during the site plan review.
Okay.
In our office itself.
Okay. It's just,
Right.
fine.
Any other questions out there?
That would be along the sea, right?
Yes, sir, along C, right. Yeah, we've got, actually, we've applied for a grant, just to fill you in, to restore, rebuild County Road C through the Ohio Department of Transportation. It's an 80-20 grant. We'll know early August on whether or not we get that funding. And with that funding, we're not sure funding-wise how many dollars are going to come in yet, but whether or not sidewalks go in or not is, we're hoping that there'll be enough funds to take care of that. So it may be addressed internally there. But like Mr. Brown said, our subdivision regulations have changed. 10 years ago, or 15 years ago, we did not require sidewalks through all developments, and now we do require them. So Mr. Brown's got a development that half of it has to have sidewalks and the other half doesn't. So he's got sidewalks going nowhere, hence the comment. But we'll discuss that a little further in future meetings with you. So, any further questions or comments? Well, at this point in time, we will entertain a motion to either approve the development plan request or deny it. But if we do approve it, just make sure you add in there that the city engineer's office has the final authority on the details of the site plan.
I would move we accept it with the engineer office.
Final authority on the
Final
site plan.
authority on it.
That's fine. Is there a second for it?
Second.
Andy, could you call roll, please?
Motion on the floor to approve the site plan with engineer's office having final review. Marv?
Yes.
Tyson?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Bryan?
Yes.
Nikki?
Yes.
Motion carried. Site development plan review approved.
Okay. The next item on the agenda is the preliminary plat approval for a subdivision called The Ridge at Greenfield Second Edition. David Brown's the developer. Andy, I'll turn the floor to you again.
All right, what we have here is, this will be completing the horseshoe. The first phase is located to the south. Currently they have a stone turnaround up in here. That'll be removed and then connected back out into Youst Edition, or Greenfield Edition. Proposing lots here. We got an easement in the middle for drainage purposes. Let me zoom in here. And easements along the rear for utilities. Utilities on the south that are already put in down in here. Other than that, pretty standard. I know this will benefit everything. Getting
Having
this
a little
horseshoe
street through there.
finished off, so.
And just so the planning commission knows, there's already a stormwater retention basin out there that was already sized to handle this entire development. So stormwater retention is already factored into this development, and the sewers are upsized to handle additional flows, which hopefully will be at the point where we might start to see some water in the retention basin. Finally getting up to the point where.
Water's never in there, is there?
No. There will be though, as we start filling it up, the sewers will actually be maxed out, and it will end up backing up in there like it's supposed to, but they opt to not have a flow-through basin where you don't have potential for erosion. Just when the sewers are full, they'll back up in, kind of like the retention pond we have at the wastewater plant now. During heavy flows, it'll back in. But on this, again, we met 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think, with the utilities office and kind of looked over a few issues there, discussed a few things, but I think generally speaking, preliminary plat-wise, the lots all conform to the standards and what's out there, and the street right-of-way does. There's sidewalks. I didn't have any major issues in the engineering office. From utilities, Nate, Al?
I'd just like to mention, it'd be nice to be able to get some street lighting easement in there, maybe to plat
Okay.
before.
Yeah.
All right, we'll note that developer agreed to some street lighting easements. Nate, anything from you, or Al, anything further?
No, I'd just like to possibly get, in the future, near future, get a set of maybe CAD plans so we can start the design of the.
I'm working on it.
Okay. I couldn't see who the actual person was that drew them up. There was no name on the print.
Okay. Is there any questions from out on the floor? Chief Siders?
I'll wait till after it's
Is there anything, Andy, that stuck out to you in your review? I know we've talked about it several occasions. I don't think there's anything, I know for snow removal, it should make it nicer for the street department and garbage pickup to have the loop street through there. And again, Dave, sidewalks that go nowhere.
5 houses, 5 houses,
Oh, no.
or
No.
12 houses. Oh, I see about 13.
Yeah, both sides of the street there.
I
Yep.
see.
And this will be the same thing, Dave? You'll put the sidewalk in after the houses
Yeah.
construct?
It does not go out on Fountain
No,
Grove.
no, it's just the loop that goes back to Markey. He's got the south phase is already currently in, he's just wrapping back around to the north. Well, again, this is a pretty straightforward development. Marv, you have anything, Planning Commission, or
No.
Nikki? No. Tyson? Nope. Yes, sir, Dave, sure.
Just to say, it's nice of you guys, I mean, you have the requirement that you put sidewalks in. It would make it almost impossible to build if you put the sidewalks in first, because then you wouldn't have access to their property.
Right, you destroy the sidewalks.
So
Right.
they've always been kind to let us wait till the house is in, you know the elevation of the
Right.
house. It just makes it a ton easier.
Right. Just when you have that last lot you gotta fill in, you may have to put some sidewalk in to finish it off, but I think we can work something out between us to make that happen, so. Well, I guess I'll ask one more time. Any further questions from anyone in the audience? Have a quiet group today. Okay, with that, we have 3 options here according to the Planning and Zoning Code. One is to recommend council approve the preliminary plat. The other one would be to recommend council approve the plat with any modifications. And the third one is to disapprove the preliminary plat, in which case reasons for disapproval shall be stated. So I guess if there's no further questions or comments from anyone, I would entertain a motion of one of those 3 items.
I would make the motion that we approve it with the, as is.
Okay. Is there a second for that?
I'll second it.
All right, when you get caught up, Andy, if you could call roll.
Motion on the floor to approve the preliminary plat. Marv?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Tyson?
Yes.
Bryan?
Yes, sir.
Nikki?
Yep.
Motion carried, preliminary plat approved, be taken to council
3 weeks.
first meeting in July. Which is the 6th, I believe.
I have, yep, Monday, July 6th. And they'll probably do a hearing or 2 on that as well. I do not think they'll approve at the first meeting, but they can still proceed with their design if they want. We don't have any other items, but Chief Siders, you would like to address the Plan Commission?
Yes, please. Andy, can you bring that overall site of that end of town? It's up in that upper right-hand corner. Piece there.
That one?
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Good afternoon. From the fire department standpoint, we love to see the development. This is great, fantastic. It's a good shot in the arm for the fire department. We have additional single-family dwellings going in. We have commercial properties going in. We're building a new school out in that end of town, coming off of West Fountain Grove Drive. Fantastic. However, from the fire department and public safety standpoint, it brings up a bit of an issue in regards to our ability to quickly and effectively get into these areas in regards to fire. And I guess I would like to see the planning commission take a look at, and I know that there's some people that are in disagreement in regards to extending Portland Street, but we need to start looking at extending some of these streets, like Portland, Ashley, that goes into the back end of Autumn Chase and so forth, so that we have quicker access into these areas as these subdivisions develop, as more commercial property develops, as the city grows, okay? We need to look at, from the fire department standpoint, how we're gaining access to these areas. And we need to have some good, quick access points into these areas. So I'd like for the planning commission to at least start looking at and investigating those ideas as to how we can make public safety a little bit easier to get into those areas.
Nice if you could find us a public safety grant to extend the streets for us.
That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? I look for them all the time, but I haven't seen any. So. But anyway, I would like for the board to take a look at that, if
Okay.
at all possible.
Your
Thank
comments
you.
are duly noted. Thank you, Chief. Okay, Andy, do you have anything for the next meeting yet? Were there any items? I know the cutoff, I think, will be this Friday. Do you have any?
Cutoff will be this Friday. I am talking with the business, looking at developing, but I'll wait until I have more information.
Okay, so we may potentially have a meeting on July 6th, but you'll let us know by next
Correct.
Monday. Okay, with no other business, at this point in time, we'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting. We thank you all for showing up. Appreciate it.
Move we adjourn.
Yep. Your second?
I'll second the motion.
All right, motion second. Call roll, Andy?
Mayor?
Yes.
Nikki?
Yes.
Tyson?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes, sir.
Marv?
Yes.
Thank you all for coming.